Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the English Story Nook. We are delighted you could join us today. Today, we're diving into a story about mysterious messages and unexpected connections. Get ready to discover how small, artistic gestures can bring warmth and curiosity into someone's life, all set within a vibrant art class. Letters folded like swans. The first swan appeared on a Tuesday, nestled beside Serena's charcoal pencils. It was a creature of pure white paper, its wings arched in a silent, graceful curve, meticulously folded. Serena, who usually plunged headfirst into the vibrant chaos of Ms. Anya's advanced art class, found herself pausing. She picked it up, its delicate form surprisingly sturdy. Tucked beneath one wing was a tiny rolled scroll. Unfurling it, she read a single, neatly printed sentence. "Your use of cerulean blue today was inspired." The message was as ephemeral as a whisper, yet it lingered. Kalen, sitting 2 rows behind Serena, watched her from the corner of his eye, his heart performing a frantic staccato against his ribs. He was a reticent soul, more comfortable with the language of charcoal and clay than with spoken words. His penchant for origami, a skill learned from his grandmother, had suddenly found a new clandestine purpose. Had he been too bold? If she were to discover him, he wasn't sure what he'd do. He'd always found direct communication rather daunting. For Serena, the swan was an enchanting conundrum. The sender was elusive, a ghost in the bustling art room. The next swan, a vibrant yellow, appeared on Thursday, its message praising her intricate cross-hatching technique. "It's the subtle shadows that give your work depth," it read. These weren't just compliments. They were observations, insightful and specific. It was this attention to detail that intrigued her most. Who in this class, filled with aspiring artists each focused on their own canvas, was watching her with such quiet intensity? The swans became a regular feature, each a different color, each bearing a message that seemed to discern her artistic choices and, increasingly, her moods. One Monday, after a particularly challenging weekend, a soft gray swan offered, "Even a storm cloud has a silver lining. Your resilience is admirable." The words were poignant, a balm to her frayed nerves. This nascent connection, built on paper wings and whispered words, felt strangely significant. Their school, Northwood High, was a vibrant amalgamation of cultures, a place where the ubiquitous chatter in the hallways was a symphony of languages and accents. The art room itself was a microcosm of this, a juxtaposition of styles and perspectives. Serena often wondered if the sender's cultural background influenced their indirect artistic approach. She found herself scanning the faces in class, a myriad of possibilities, yet none seemed to fit the profile of her anonymous admirer. Little did she know that the quiet boy sketching furiously 2 rows behind was the architect of these paper emissaries. She lived vicariously through the imagined persona of the swan folder, trying to piece together their identity from the nuance of their words. Kalen, meanwhile, felt increasingly emboldened by Serena's reactions. He'd see her smile, a small private thing. As she read his notes, sometimes she'd look pensive, tracing the swan's outline with a fingertip. The joy he derived from these small, observed moments was ineffable. He knew his actions were unconventional, albeit harmless. What if she were to find his gestures unwelcome? The thought was a persistent, unwelcome shadow. One afternoon, a swan of the deepest indigo, almost black, landed on her desk. Its message was more profound than usual. Your art doesn't just capture light, it seems to emanate it. There's an ethereal quality to your latest piece. Serena had been working on a portrait, trying to capture an expression that was both melancholic and hopeful. That someone had not only noticed, but understood the delicate balance she was striving for. It was deeply moving. It was then that a spark of an idea, a moment of potential serendipity, ignited within her. The next art class, Serena arrived early. On Kaylin's usual, unassuming stool, she placed a small, folded paper crane, its color a warm, optimistic orange. Inside, her message was simple. Thank you. Your words are like finding an unexpected patch of sunlight. She didn't sign it. It was the quintessential act of returning a gesture in kind, a silent acknowledgement. When Kaylin arrived, he saw the crane. His breath hitched. He picked it up, his fingers trembling slightly as he unrolled the note. Her handwriting was elegant, flowing. He looked towards Serena's seat. She was already there, seemingly absorbed in sketching, but he caught the faintest hint of a smile playing on her lips. Notwithstanding his usual shyness, a wave of courage washed over him. After class, as students were packing up, Kaylin approached Serena's table. "The crane," he began, his voice a little unsteady. "It was beautiful." Serena looked up, her expression open and kind. "The swans are beautiful too," she replied softly. "They've meant a lot to me. I wasn't sure if—" Kaylin stammered, his gaze dropping to his feet. "It was a lovely way to communicate," Serena said, her voice gentle. "Though, I must admit, I was very curious." He finally met her eyes, a shy smile gracing his lips. "My name is Kaylin." "I'm Serena," she said, extending her hand. As their hands met, a quiet resonance filled the space between them. The paper swans had served their purpose, bridging the gap of shyness and uncertainty, allowing a delicate, artistic connection to be forged. It was the beginning of something new, something that perhaps, with time, could become as profound and beautiful as the art they both cherished. The clandestine messages had paved the way for an open conversation, proving that sometimes the most subtle gestures can have the most significant impact. That's all for our story time today at the English Story Nook. We hope it brought a smile to your face. What are some creative ways people can show kindness or appreciation? Share your ideas in the comments below. If you enjoyed our story, a like would be wonderful. And don't forget to check the description box for some helpful resources to continue your learning journey. Thank you for joining us at the English Story Nook today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned something new. Keep practicing your English, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.